what is it that the people of Barbados are loyal to? Okay, so there you have the chains. Okay,
yeah,
then
but
you have
somebody's
all
saying something here, and this is a thing, and this is what this government stands for: not heritage, not principle.
right.
Easy D is saying, and I would love to hear the others on this, that they switch it around to let the people see Rihanna first, probably because Rihanna is a star and a billionaire.
Well, yeah, well, being a star and a billionaire does not build our nation. It didn't bring our nation from where it was to where it is today. We're dealing with the people who did what was necessary so Rihanna could become what she's become. Okay, if they didn't do what they did, if Alvaro and the others didn't do what they did, she could not be in the Barbados today. So this is why it's important for us, as John King said years ago, we need to know who our heroes are. Okay, we need to know who our heroes are, not people who gained from being a Barbadian, but people who were down in the trenches and worked and did what was necessary to build this nation into what it is today. Okay, so if your husband, sorry, I need to stop doing that. If he can go online and Google a copy of the what's on Google Images about the plans, a picture of the plans that they had for this this heroes independence area monument. If he Googles the plans, you will see that in the plan, Aaron Barrow's face was where Rihanna is now. Okay, so why the change, and why is it they never said we were going to make a change? They just did it because they knew in their minds all along what they've been doing. I've been checking the murals around the island. I know exactly what they're doing. I understand the consciousness change that they're trying to do, because this is how these demonic forces work. They work on a subconscious level. You see something long enough, you hear something long enough, you say something long enough, you get exposed to something long enough, it gets down into your subconscious. And once it gets down into your subconscious, it's easy for them to work because they work beyond the consciousness level. And I hope that your husband can find that image, and individuals can easily go online, Google Images, and just type in, the Independence Square Monument, and you will see that in the original plans, the face that was that you would see once you were coming up Broad Street, the face you would see is Aaron Bauer. You have to ask the question, why was Aaron Bauer's element, why was his picture, why was there a change, and the public was never informed about the change? And these are things that are happening, and because of that whole Ghana situation, this is why they can move things over the people. They'll come at the people. You had the whole cyber crimes bill, you had all of these issues, and you'll see that they won't deal with the issues. They won't deal with crime and violence. They're talking taint, they're talking emblem change. They're doing things to destabilize the minds of the people, because that's how these people work. They have to work in chaos. They cannot work in a system that is quiet and clean and clear and constructive. They have to work in a system that is very, very chaotic. That's how the demonic system works.
Yes.
And you'll see that, and I hope that your husband will find that.
I'm sure he's checking for it. But I want us guys. I'm hoping that we are following closely what is being said here tonight. We might have a little difference with the trident and so on. Put that aside for a minute, and we will all go and research it. Rev and I will have our conversation, right? But what I'm saying here, I want everybody that's on tonight to realize something, Apostle, that there's a systematic move to erase the legacy of Errol Barrow, of independence, and of the DLP. when this is done, and this is one of the reasons, Reverend, why they will accuse me of being part of the DLP, because I can see this clearly, what is happening. And this prime minister and our government, they are bent on doing this. There's nobody who said they had a problem with these emblems. What the biggest concern is gunshots in this country right now, is the stabbings and the raping of people, the beating of the elderly. And you're going to take up time and money to come to talk to us about changing our emblems. Let's look at the national anthem, Reverend. I was at they had a meeting when they were talking about the new constitution. And there were people there that were presenting their views that the second verse of the anthem needs to change, because we must be a secular society. And they want any reference to God removed from the anthem. I know some people said it's not God that they reference to. Others of us have taken that, and when we sing it, we don't think of anything else. We think of Almighty God. Okay? Now, look at the verse that, if it is true, and those of you in government, because when we talk on this show, I know you go and you put out stuff in the media afterwards, whatever. Is it true? I'm asking a question. Because in the article in Barbados Today, it spoke about discussing the national anthem, folks. And I tend to agree with Apostle Scantlebury that when you're dealing with the demonic, they bring confusion. That's the other element I want you to see tonight, folks. The confusion that this demonic government, yes, I said so. Go back and tell them I said so. It's obvious that it's demonic, because all that is happening in the country is confusion. And I'm gonna I know Mr. Apostle Scantlebury is gonna jump in on this, right? We are running in the streets, some gunshots, and this demonic government comes now to bring violence, emotional violence on the people of Barbados. Violence to take our heritage from us. It's violence. They are enacting violence on the people of Barbados to come to talk to us about the flag, right? Talk to us about the anthem, celebrations. They didn't say independence, but what else they're talking about? Guy Fawkes Day, that is no more. It has to be independence you're coming with. When we already told them, Apostle, we told them that we do not want it the day changed. But, and this is why, and this is where you're going to come in, because I'm going to tell you this. This thing gets me very, very, very passionate, because it's a disrespect for the people. And that is why I call her Miss Piggy. It has nothing to do with her facial features and her body structure. But Mayor Martin is a beautiful woman.
Right.
She's a beautiful Black woman. I'm not calling her a pig. I'm calling her, I'm dealing with the character of Miss Piggy, one that is bossy, one that is controlling, one that is what is the word I'm looking for? I can't, despotic. That is what I am speaking of when I say Miss Piggy. Miss Piggy is a cartoon character. And when your people that you serve, they're telling you, ma'am, we don't want to change our Independence Day. We don't want to change our emblems, but yet still you have in a town hall meeting, and Birdie is telling us that all of those symbols and everything is already designed, is what we're being told. And we're asking, is that what you really did? Over to you, Apostle.
Yeah, well, you know, this one of the things we have to clear, there's a difference between a muppet and a puppet. Okay. And Miss Piggy is a muppet, not a puppet.
Correct.
Okay.
Correction.
All right. Yeah. So let me just go back and add to what you're saying about how these individuals work. Now, I have a mural in Spikestown just by the terminal, outside of the terminal, where there's an elderly woman. There's an elderly woman on it working in a garden. There's a fishing boat on it, and then there's a mother and a father walking towards their, an area on the rail of that. And anyone that's in Spikestown can go and look at it for themselves. On the rail, the words "We loyal sons and daughters all" are inscribed on the top of the rail. Now you have to ask yourself, why is that the case with that mural? Why is it what is recorded in Hero Square? Why is it in our current national anthem? Why are they using this particular aspect, "We loyal sons and daughters all," over and over again? Again, what is it that we are loyal to? What is it that Barbadians are loyal to? That is what they have to clear up for us. I know what it is, and I know that I'm not a part of it. I will never be a part of it. But the reality is that we still have a nation of 283,000 persons that the majority are oblivious. Only those who have keen insight can understand exactly what is happening. And this is why it is critical for us to have information and intelligence of what is going on. Now, let me go to what you were saying about the elements that's happening in our country, prevailing in Barbados right now. So often, as I said before in the last time I was on the show, so much level of unrighteousness. You had a case where when they were the opposition, they had so much to say about what they would do to help stem crime, the flow of drugs, the flow of guns into Barbados. Now it's your turn. Okay? When it was 19 murders under Adriel Brathwaite, he doesn't know what he's doing. He needs to resign. Now we're up to 25 in half of a year, and the Attorney General is still the person that's there. You knew a person needed to resign in a whole year with 19 homicides. You're at 25 in half of a year, and you're still the Attorney General. Now let's go back and clear this up, which is a level of unrighteousness that is coming on the people. Now the people are the ones that vote the government in. Mm-hmm. And we have a situation where when individuals are voted in by the people, they get protected by the Constitution. And the Constitution starts to manipulate. Okay? The Constitution starts to manipulate and gives them the power, rather, to manipulate how they operate with the people. Okay? So in many cases, the Constitution protects those who are elected by the people. And because that is the case, many times the cries of the people go unheard, even when they make statements. These folk become so protected by the Constitution that they say we are carrying out the Constitution. We're carrying out the Constitution. And this is in my entire study, and I want someone that can actually pull up the statement that is made by the Prime Minister when the Prime Minister is sworn in. Okay, if your husband can find that when the Prime Minister is sworn in, you will see that in the sworn in statement of the Prime Minister, there is absolutely no agreement with her and the people. Okay, all the others deal with "I'll faithfully serve the Constitution of Barbados," but in that there is no statement. Okay, and when you say "so help me God," that means that you have verbally entered into a contract with God to assist you in the execution of your duties. You go in there and you do not enlist the help of the divine in the execution of your duties, then you have failed. You have broken that agreement. And unfortunately, a lot of individuals do not understand how serious this is. Every person that is elected and represents the people of Barbados, in that swearing-in statement, there should be a clause where you are accountable to the people of Barbados. That is not in the swearing-in statements of our leaders. This is very critical. You know, Madam Reese, I've studied this stuff out, you know, over and over to make sure that what I'm presenting here on your show is credible information that can be proven. And anyone can go and pull up right now the statement that is made by the Prime Minister on the swearing-in of the oath of office, and read it for yourself and come back and tell me if you really see an agreement between the leader and the people. And ladies and gentlemen, you cannot have a situation where people go out there and vote for you, and then you do not have an agreement to help them make their lives better. Something is wrong with that. Something is wrong with that.
Well, so, Dave, it's long, so we can't play it. It says 17 minutes and something, unless you have the exact, because we don't have a lot of time.
Yeah, I think in the old constitution, there's a swearing-in statement of the Prime Minister in the old constitution, because we don't have a new one as yet. And you know, you can just pull that clause up because
and I'm sure if somebody has it, if I'll say this, if you're listening and you can find that in the old version of the Constitution and can send it to me, just you can even take a picture and just send it to me. We would appreciate that. But that's what we say on Emblems right now, and I'm saying to every Barbadian listening, fight it. Fight it.
Yes.
Fight it with everything that you have inside of you. Because this is part of the as Apostle said, we show you the progression tonight.
Yes, ma'am.
We show you the progression. And it's a complete bowing down that they're planning to have. Okay. Now we're working, Dave, overnight, because I want to share something with the people tonight. And with you, Apostle, that I saw this evening. I don't know if a lot of people know that they're getting ready right now to change the president. I'm sure you're aware of that. I'm sure you're aware of that. And I'm trying to find, that was sent to me this evening. And I'm trying to find it because I want to read that section for you. Oh, okay, got it. So basically, the president has 4 years. Okay, it's renewed every 4 years. We were a republic in what year? You remember the year?
2022.
2022. So that is coming up. 4 years, that's coming up. And this is what I saw this morning. And I don't know if Dave is able, we're working Dave overtime. If Dave can show a picture for me, Dave, that I sent to you with both Liz Thompson and the Prime Minister together. This is what they're after, what I believe. This is my belief. I don't have, I can only show you what I saw. And this is just, I'm presenting this to you as my opinion. Okay? This is my opinion. These two ladies. I don't come on the show a lot and tell you that anything about, I tried, Reverend, you're Reverend, so you can do it. I don't come on here and say God said something to me or that. I try my best not to get into that. But this picture, I will tell you, came to me in my prayers this morning. These two women. And even in the natural, you could see, and we're hearing it, because, they talk, even within themselves, from them. they talk, that it appears as though they are getting ready to make Elizabeth Thompson the president. After this lady, this Dame Mason, Sandra Mason, after she leaves, which is going to be very soon, it appears that this is a lady that they want to put as president. And I am warning Barbados something. And remember, put it down tonight here. June 20th, 9:09, 9:01 p.m., 9:01, 9:02. I'm saying to Barbados as a warning. This is a warning. That if these two women are at the helm of this country, Barbados, you will never be able to even recognize it after they're through with it. I am issuing a warning. Take it for whatever you want to, but I am considering myself as being obedient in saying this to you. If these two women, remember this one on the left, anytime they want to send out what is a proverbial I'm using now, because then you all love to take what I'm saying. I'm using metaphors and you run and say, I call people this. I'm using this metaphorically and proverbially. It's when you want an attack dog. The main attack dog for the BLP is this lady in red. This other piece is, I'm not using it proverbially, is what comes out of her. What comes out of her is what defiles her. I consider her what she said is what she says is vile. What comes out of this woman on the left is vile. It's corrupt. It's awful. It makes your stomach turn. And they are going to dress her up and give her to us as a president? They are going to dress up this woman who, when she speaks vileness, if that's the word, Reverend, that comes out of her is corruption and vile. Evil. I said those things, and those I will stand by because I am giving my opinion. I hear her and it makes me want to puke. She gives the worst insults to people. And this is a person you want to dress up and give us after we had Dame Sandra Mason. This is who you want to give us. Is this true? Government, is this what you're trying to do? And I want to give Barbados a warning. If these two women are going to be the ones, they could start nowadays, they start to dress her up, give her that wig, you know, that Medea kind of looking wig and so on, and trying to keep her all whatever. It all don't matter what you dress her in. We will not forget her vileness. We will not forget how vile this lady, what comes out of her is vile and corrupt. And there's no way you can dress her up. You could put her in the best lipstick and the best wigs and she start to speak soft and all of that. It's not going to change it. And you put her as a president and you're going to see what you're going to get in this country. Those two, they are sisters. And this, you will not be able to recognize this country after those two are done with it. That's what I want to say. Over to you, Apostle.
Well, listen, you know, that's pretty interesting what, you know, what you receive. But one of the things that I said in 2018, once the Barbados Labour Party had won the first set of, the 30 seats. And my congregation can attest to this. My wife can also attest to this. I told them one of the things that you're going to see in Barbados is a very strong feminist movement. Okay, a very, very strong feminist movement in Barbados. And right now, almost all of the top positions in Barbados are held by a female. Okay, it's something like what's going on in Trinidad right now. You got the president, you got the chief justice, you got the prime minister, all women, all women. In Barbados, at the top, you have pretty much all women. Okay, and that is a very dangerous movement that can literally mask the operation that is going on behind the scenes with individuals and what's going on in that feminist movement. And one of the things that you will see is that you will see that it is not the great percentage are females that are not married or have themselves raised their own children. So there's a huge disconnect with them and society. Okay, and I told my congregation, this is one of the things that you're going to see very, very clearly, a very strong feminist movement where you'll see that there's really no use for men other than, okay, I got you, you happen to have this position, but just remember who's in charge. Just remember who the boss is. And what you're seeing there is very dangerous because we've had a president, we currently have a president that's a female. Why is it that we're not looking for a male to be president? Okay, why is that the case? You go into the upper chamber, a female. You got deputy speaker of the house, a female. You got, before Mr. Chad Blackman, head of education, a female. Chief education officer, a female. You look at the majority of schools right now around Barbados. Find out who's the principal or who the deputy principal is. So something is happening in Barbados that even the church has to begin to pay attention to it. Because we're asking about our young men. We're asking about crime. We're asking about all of these things that's happening. Even to the point right now, we're seeing mother and daughter being arrested for, drug trafficking and all these different things. So something is going on in our nation right now. There's a very dangerous but very strong feminist movement that is going on in Barbados that's literally undermining the family, is undermining the very fabric of the spiritual component of God making male and female. Personally, I don't have a problem with women doing well. I don't, seriously. But when I see in my nation that all of the top positions are going to women, I gotta stop and I gotta ask God, what's going on here? And when I see what's happening, I know what's going on. I've said this over and over. People say, Apostle Scantlebury, he doesn't like Mia Morley. I tell them, as a man of God, I can't hate Mia Morley. Okay? I can hear what she stands for. I can hear what she represents. But I don't hate Mia Morley. Okay? And what I have seen, give me something. Okay? Don't show me, we want children to go back to Sunday school and we never see you at church in 52 Sundays in a year. Do we have a picture anywhere of the Prime Minister raising her hands in worship? Do we have that picture anywhere? Okay, do we have one of them on stage with the top entertainers? Do we have them on stage bumping and grinding? Yeah, we do. So how do you come and, in one voice, get our children back to Sunday school? Do we not lead by example here? Yeah. Okay, so where's the example? One Sunday of a year, 2 Sundays of a year. They just had a massive Pentecostal rally at the Oval. what's happening? Where were you? Okay, so this huge feminist movement is, listen, it's going to undermine Barbados. It's going to cripple Barbados, and it's already started to do that. Now, in my area of psychology, there is a place when females are different to men mentally because of the mental construction of how neurons move through the brain. Okay, this is information that you can study on Google. I did this years ago because I just don't study the Bible. I study whatever I can or whatever I need to study. And do you see that place where a female gets afraid? The response is different to a man. Okay, and you can tell when the neurons are functioning differently. And I've seen many times when our leader was genuinely afraid, that response forced her to get up and go to church. I've seen that happen. But I saw that happen for myself, right? And I've seen many times when I know the prime minister was genuinely scared, like she is right now. Okay, so many times this show of dominance, this show does not equate to when the camera goes off. When the camera goes off, the problem is still there in front of you. Words don't solve problems. Action does. And it's very, very critical for us to understand what is happening, what's interfering with our young men, what's going on education, what's going on in the workplace. A man comes in there and the boss is a female, and she's making that man feel inferior, feel incomplete, feel like he's a nobody. And all of these are different things that they're interfering with our society right now. And people are asking, where have we gone wrong? Where have we gone wrong? Okay. When I was at school, we had female teachers there, but female teachers that had children of their own, female teachers that were married and had families. So they dealt with children differently. You have teachers today, young male, young female teachers that are party goers. That's the mindset. So, I mean, we're interfering with the entire structure of our nation, and then we're sitting back and asking ourselves, where have we gone wrong? Kidding me. Kidding me. Something is wrong with the reality of how we sit and analyze things in Barbados today. And the answers are right in front of us, but right now we don't have the people that have the ability to enforce those answers that will help make everything better. Now, finally, I want to say this because we were talking about.
Because we have to go into some other things that I advertised and I sent you about the death penalty and so on. So
yes, ma'am. Well, I wanted to just quickly talk about the emblems because you brought that up, and just to add to what I was saying, here's the deal: on the 25 cents, there's a flying fish.